very well into here. And man, my lips are chapped as heck. Just realized how chapped my lips were. Yeah, so for like the first half of this video, I'm gonna have super chapped lips. But hopefully it'll get better at a certain point when you guys are watching this. Hey, what's up everyone? Danny here. In this video, we're gonna talk about a potentially alternative method of cleaning your PC hardware. I say potentially because I don't know if this works or not. Normally when I clean PC components, I stick with, rubbing alcohol and then like a rag. Maybe I'll use some Lysol. It's just stuff we have around the house to clean the rest of the house, so it's always on hand. And then sometimes if there's like a really sticky mess that those two can't take care of, you have like this Goo Gone stuff, or there's a lot of different stuff that goes by different brands, but it just gets rid of sticky residue and things like that. So when I was on Amazon just browsing for something, I don't even know, but the Amazon AI probably sees that I'm always looking for either electronics or computer hardware or stuff like that. So they recommended me this on the sidebar. This is, I guess, what they call cleaning gel, and I bought a 4-pack of this, so I have 4 of these bottles here. They're all in different colors, so they're nice and colorful and fun. But this cost me $14 on Amazon. I don't know what the main brand of this is because I don't think this is the major brand of this stuff. This is just like one of the generics, and I obviously bought it because it was cheaper. But this is called Super Clean. New Cleaning Joy, the high-tech cleaning compound, and it's 95% biodegradable. It claims to absorb dirt and dust in cavities, ideal for all devices and surfaces. Absorb, assimilate, all-around cleaning, and killing germs. This is an interesting claim, killing germs. I don't think I'm going to be able to test that because I don't have a microscope or any methods of testing how many germs it kills, but I don't really care either. Like for my computer parts, all we care about is getting rid of the dirt and dust. I don't care if it's like germ-free. It does not leave residues, so that's a big one. I made sure that they said that they did not leave residue because you don't want to leave that all over like your PCB and on your computer hardware. So we're going to test to see if it actually does not leave residues. So in terms of the ingredients though, green glue, I have no idea what that is. Fragrance, glycerin, water, methyl, paraben, propyl, paraben. Keep away from children. Do not eat. Okay. These do look pretty like gummy and candy like. So it has this color chart in here and it shows when it's bright and vibrant, that's when it has like the maximum cleaning and absorbing capacity. But as you pick up dirt and grime and dust, it is getting absorbed into the slime. And as you use it more, it just becomes dirty and nasty. Kind of like those sticky hands when you had as a kid and you like fling it to the wall a bunch and after a while it's just filled with crap on it. Yeah, that's gonna happen with this. Press and pull, do not remain too long. Otherwise, I think it will either get stuck or leave some residue. So definitely gotta be moving when using this, like just kind of like dabbing and tapping and moving it real quick. So what we're gonna do is I brought together as many components that I had on hand that were a little bit dirty, and we're gonna try to clean it both with this cleaning slime stuff as well as with the standard alcohol that I normally use. And I'm just gonna kind of comment about both of them as I clean it. What we have here are like some fans that are pretty dusty. I have 2 of them, so one of them I'm going to use on each. I also have a pretty disgusting graphics card. And with the graphics card, the hard thing to clean in these is definitely the heatsink. We're going to try it with both methods and see if this slime helps it any better. Because the fins are so close to each other, it's really hard to get a towel in there. And even Q-tips could be hard to get in there. So we'll see if the slime could like make its way in there and then pull all that crap out for the graphics card. And then I also have a motherboard. This was not too dirty. If you've ever cleaned a motherboard with a rag before, you'll know that there's so much stuff sticking out on this that it could easily snag on the rag and get caught and things like that. Yeah, like even just doing this right now, I can hear it. Like it's getting caught on all the little contacts and things like that. So the slime, hopefully you can just like shove it on there, pull it out, and it won't leave any residue, but we'll see. And then I have this case right here, which is a Fantex P400, and it's just a little bit dusty all around on the inside. And then last but not least, of course, which the product image on Amazon actually shows this being used for, is my first mechanical keyboard ever. This is the what is this even called? I forgot. Yes, I remember now. The Razer Black Widow. I bought this, I don't know, back in like 2011 or 12, and I used it up to like 2016 or so. This was my daily driver mechanical keyboard for like 4 to 5 years. And I've cleaned it on the surface level. Like I've taken a rag and with rubbing alcohol or Lysol and I wiped the top and stuff, but that doesn't get into the cracks of it. I'm going to remove the keys on this keyboard and we're going to look at what's underneath because I'm sure that's going to be disgusting. And yeah, we'll see how the like cloth and alcohol versus the slime does, because when all the switches are sticking out, it's not going to be like a nice smooth surface to be able to wipe this with. And I think that's where the slime is supposed to work really well. I think I'm going to actually use the yellow one because it'll be the easiest to see once it gets to that dirty state where you have to throw it away. So I'm going to put these away now. I'm just going to use rubbing alcohol versus the slime, since the rubbing alcohol is like what I use 99.9% of the time. It reminds me so much of Jell-O, which really makes me want to eat Jell-O right now. So we'll do the fans first. With the fans, what I would normally do with the rubbing alcohol, get a little bit on the cloth, and then just wipe down the blades individually. And then go around the housing a little bit. And then the back side, you gotta get every individual fan blade. And there you have it. A clean fan on both sides. The only annoying thing was trying to like fit this in here and getting every single blade. And actually some of the dust, it doesn't all get trapped on the cloth sometimes, so it actually fell onto the table. Some dust chunks and stuff fell onto the table. So let's hope the slime can actually clean that up a little bit better in terms of just absorbing it instead of letting stuff just fall off. So here's the second fan, and there it is. All right, so it comes out keeping almost most of its shape. It just has like a moist feeling, but it's not leaving like anything on my hands. Yeah, it is interesting. Dab it in there. So it is picking up a lot of stuff. Get the front side. Yeah, so this is a lot easier because I don't have to manually like target each of the fan blades. It's definitely a lot less effort just to like find the openings and just shoving the slime in, as opposed to having to like concentrate on each blade while wiping it down with a cloth. Keep getting at it here. Okay, so now we have this. Definitely less effort than using the alcohol and the cloth, and I would say it is just as clean. And I do not see, feel, or smell any residue actually on there. So I would say for fans, this works. Okay, so now these two fans are clean, and these are actually fans I'm going to use in a build coming up. So I had to clean them anyway. Next we have this graphics card, which is pretty disgusting. I'm actually going to remove the cooler real quick, and then I'll show you how bad it actually is, and then we'll see how each of them clean it. Ooh, this thing is dirty. Here's the outer shell for the cooler. What's the worst though is this right here. Take a look at that. Actually, let me remove the fans. This is a used graphics card. It's not my original graphics card. I did not originally own this for its lifetime. These things are disgusting, so I'm excited to take the slime to it, as well as the rubbing alcohol. And then this is the actual cooler itself. So there you have it. I don't know what could have caused this corrosion like that. I don't know what the previous owner did with this graphics card, but this is the state that it's in. I haven't used it yet. I mean, I've used it in terms of testing it, but I've not needed it for a build or anything, so it's just been like a spare part. The rest of the graphics card, and as you can see, there's some sensitive components on there that you may want to be careful using a rag with, so yeah, there's that. All right, this is what we're dealing with in terms of the fans. So just wiping it down blade by blade using the rubbing alcohol. It's kind of hard to get all the way into the very end of the blade that's closest to the center, just because the towel can only squeeze in so much. It's a little bit dirty closest to the center, and it actually takes a little bit of effort to push and get it all the way clean in there. But all right, so what we had before versus what we have now. A nice clean fan blade on both sides via rubbing alcohol and cloth. All right, so next up is the slime. So we're gonna take the slime to this, all that nastiness. Just gonna grab it with it. See how well it cleans it off. Oh, this one, this feels a little bit more caked on. It's chopping. Okay. It was getting away from me there. But yeah, so it's very easy just to like forms around. A lot easier than the cloth anyways, because the cloth, you can only, it doesn't even stretch, right? So if it gets caught for whatever reason, then you've got to move it around a little bit more. But this slime, since it's so stretchy, you can just do whatever you want it to do. And there's like no resistance. So we're just going to go around. Basically, I'm just covering the fan blade, squeezing it, and then pulling out. Like that. Just squeeze, 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 and pull. And it just grabs anything it can with it. Put this back in here. So this is the one with rubbing alcohol and cloth. This is the slime one. So you can see that the rubbing alcohol and cloth, if you're not careful and like very attentive, you can miss some spots. Like there's some right there, some dirt that's being missed. But I mean, the same goes for the slime too. Like I went a little bit fast around these fan blades, so you can see there's a little bit of dirt there. So I would need to go back and get it a little bit more. If it's really caked on, it seems like the rubbing alcohol is better because you actually have the alcohol there to help break it down. But if it's not as caked on, I would say the slime is a lot easier to use. So each of them so far has their pros and cons. I think the rubbing alcohol definitely can break through the dirt and dust better. So now we're gonna go to like something like a flat surface, like the cover for the cooler. Rubbing alcohol on this side. Pretty simple, just wiping it away. Now we're nice and clean, and then give it a little bit to dry up. But then we're gonna grab the slime. This side was the one that had the rubbing alcohol, and then this side had the slime. Nothing in terms of residue, so the slime's just fine there. But I mean, if it came down to it, the slime is more expensive than a rag and rubbing alcohol. So if you're doing, you know, mostly stuff like this that's flat and easy, then it's kind of a no-brainer. You kind of go with the cheaper option. So now we've got these two clean. So now we'll go on to the heat block. All right, so this is the disgusting one. So you can see the fins are really close to each other, so getting in between them with a traditional cloth may be a little bit harder, but we're gonna try doing this. Ooh, man, that, you can see it picking it up right there. Pushing this stuff in there. Oh man, this is gross. Look at all of that. But you kind of just knead it away into the center and you keep on going. So this is kind of like a one-off example though. I wouldn't say most people's coolers are like this. This one is extra disgusting. Keep on pounding away at it here. I think that's about as far as I can get it. So from what we saw earlier to now, this is what it looks like now up close. So there is some stuff that's on there that's super caked on. I think at this point we would have to go to it with like a toothbrush and like a rubbing alcohol bath. It's gonna need more abrasion to pull it off. So it definitely needs some brushing. But we're gonna see how the cloth and alcohol does on this side, because this is what it was looking like earlier. So there is a difference, but the caked on stuff, the slime just could not get. So now we're gonna do the rubbing alcohol. With the rubbing alcohol, you can actually rub a little harder. The only issue is that it does not just absorb. So all the stuff that's getting caught on the cloth, it could easily just fall all over the place. Like the cloth does not absorb the dirt like the slime does. Yeah, so as I'm just like trying to scrape a lot of this stuff out, it's falling to the table because it has nowhere else to go. And it's just kind of flaking off dust all over the mat down here. Definitely for like right here where it's a flat surface and it's pretty dirty, the cloth, definitely you can apply more force and get stuff off. I'm going to try to use a Q-tip for... Oh no, it's too big. I'm not going to be able to get in there. Okay, so we look at the two now. What happens when you use the cloth? If it does not pull the dirt or the dust to the cloth, it actually kind of just rolls it around till it clumps up. And then that's what you're going to see right here. So we didn't see this on the other side, but you see those bigger chunks of like dirt clods. It actually got pushed further in because I was trying to, you know, rub it. And now I can't get to it. So in terms of what is better for this, probably cloth, but you gotta wring out and clean your cloth more often so that it doesn't just push more of the dirt between the fins. The rubbing alcohol just has way better ability to break down the dirt. So those are for the most part clean, and then now we have the rest of the graphics card where all the delicate components are. You can go as hard as you want because this stuff is super soft. Just kind of roll it all around to make sure it gets in between all those little delicate components. And yep, no residue at all. So yeah, that did a pretty good job at cleaning the backside. If I were to try to go like this, yeah, I can, especially around here, I can feel it. And you probably hear it. It's snagging. The slime does have its uses, but when you get onto the caked on stuff, you need the rubbing alcohol. If I had to choose between the two, definitely the rubbing alcohol all the way. Probably for any of these situations, because the rubbing alcohol is going to have way more uses. The slime is going to be very specific uses. Okay, let's go to this motherboard next. I'm not sure how well the camera's going to capture it. It's kind of hard to see, like right there, if you can see it right in the center of the screen. But what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to clean some of it with the rubbing alcohol. And this is a pain if you're trying to clean this with rubbing alcohol, just because there's so much stuff sticking out everywhere. And you want to be careful because like this capacitor right here, if my rag accidentally snags it and I pull it this way, it could bend it out of place and then mess up the connection. So going with a rag to a motherboard like this is pretty annoying. I'm gonna try the slime on the motherboard. The slime is showing a different color now. Remember when I showed the bottom earlier, wasn't it way more yellow? Now when it's being shown like this, I think it's, hopefully you can see that it's getting a little bit dirtier. Right all along there, see that? So we're gonna see if this can grab all that up real quick. Oh wow, yeah, it does a really good job. Yeah, this is actually way better. You could be a lot less delicate. It's conforming around the capacitors and everything like that. Though, I don't know, some people might argue, like, do you even need to do that much more than blowing off your motherboard with air? Anything more than that is like, it's fine. It doesn't affect performance or anything. And yeah, I would agree. I mean, I don't think this is necessary. I haven't used slime for like, I don't know, however long I've been working with computers and stuff. So it's not like this is a necessity, right? It's just, it's more of an interesting thing. This is kind of like more like a fun video and trying something new. It's not like this is going to be a game changer. I'm sure I'll still have pretty limited use to this, as well as other people too. But it's just kind of an interesting video. But yeah, so the slime actually does a really good job at cleaning the motherboard. Unfortunately, I didn't have a more dirty motherboard to kind of show, because I think if you had like a super dusty motherboard, taking a rag to it, especially after the air does not get everything out, taking a rag to it will be a lot more time consuming and a lot more difficult to clean up. But the slime on the motherboard, definitely hands down, I would rather use this than the rubbing alcohol in rag, just because of how sensitive the parts are on here. All right, next up we have the case, which it's gonna be a little bit harder, I think, to show, but we'll see. You kind of see it's a little dusty right around here. Just kind of wipe it down, and we're good to go. The only issue again is that the rag just kind of pushes the dirt around, so then it falls into other crevices and things like that. So now we're gonna try the slime. So all the dust is like right there in the corner. So it's kind of... I'm holding this up with one hand right now while I'm trying to clean this and be focused on camera, but okay, the slime works really well for the case. Like, yeah, it's not pushing the dirt anywhere. It's pulling all the dirt and dust off. Like, this was gross, and here, I'll show on this one up here. You can see there's quite a bit of dust around there, so just kind of rub it all around. And there you go. So, okay, so right here, I think it's pretty easy to see where it's not black honeycomb. All that other stuff that's brown, that's dirt. There we go. So, yeah, I did a really good job. So, slime, definitely good for the case. The keyboard, which, oh man, I'm so curious as to how this thing's gonna look when I pull all the keycaps off. There's hair in here that definitely belongs to Melissa because it is way too long to be my hair. I'm just gonna get the main portion of the keyboard. Gonna get all that out. Alright. This side is extra bad. This is the WASD side over here. So, like, what is that? I don't even know what this is! Where did that come from? Alcoholic rag. So I can only really pat. I can't just like run it across because it's getting caught on the keyboards. So I can only really pat like this, right? It is missing quite a bit, but I don't know if it's because it's caked on or not. But this is me like trying to get every corner and in between. I'm thinking a toothbrush might be way better for this. So the rag I typically use, yeah, not too great. Still leaves quite a bit behind. Like, I cannot get those corners. Oh man, I'm breathing in the rubbing alcohol. Okay. It is doing a good job cleaning it, but you have to be very mindful of where you're pushing and applying pressure and getting in between the keycaps. Now, we're gonna do the slime. We're gonna use the slime on the super dirty part, the disgusting part. All right, here we go. Well, that's, oh man, look at everything that came off. So what you do is you just knead it into it and you forget about it. You can't feel the dirt and dust that's like trapped in here once it's in here. Like here, this is pretty dirty right now, right? And I'm just gonna play around with it with my hands and stuff. Just rub it all around my hands. But look at my hands when it comes out. It is like clean. Nothing is leaving the slime. Like, that's just me playing around with this thing, which is filled with dirt and filth now. And it's kind of disgusting when you think about it. But yeah, here's just me playing around with it, trying to like rub it into my hands and stuff like that. Like doing this. And my hand, it feels so clean. So that's one of the cool things about the slime. It doesn't just push crap around. It apparently absorbs, assimilates. So I don't know about the killing germs thing again, but yeah. So we're gonna keep on going at this and seeing how it does. So the nice thing is that you can just shove it in and like rub it all around, and I don't feel anything pushing back, so it's not like I'm putting like a lot of force into these switches, right? If I did, then I would know, but the fact that this rolls around so easily and there's no resistance, I'm not afraid of damaging this by doing this. So you saw what it looked like earlier, right? And this is, so it didn't catch everything, but it caught a lot. It got as much as the rubbing alcohol did at way less effort. So I'm going to try to hold this stationary and in a dirty spot. So let's say the bottom edge is pretty dirty. This bottom edge right here. Oh, that stuff's caked in. So the slime's not going to be able to take care of that. Let me see if, get the Q-tip. There we go. So this down here, I don't know what was caked onto here, but the Q-tip definitely got that out and then just kind of like got it all over the table. But I would say if I did not wait, you know, like 5 years to do a deep clean on this or however long, if I did this more regularly, I would think the slime would be able to handle it a lot better. Like this is way easier. And it's not like you can only use one thing or another. I think all these tools used together would be really good. Like when I first opened up the keyboard, there was so much crap all inside of it. Like just even like big chunks and loose debris and stuff like that. So going to that with something like a Q-tip or a rag, that is not as effective because it just kind of like pushes it around. So that's where I think the slime comes in. You can't get a super like hard scrub using this, right? So getting that top layer and just like the majority of the loose chunks and stuff like that, I think the slime is really good for, so that you don't have to like really dispose of it. It just gets absorbed into it. So after you go into this, I would not go back with a rag. I would go back with a Q-tip, but I think even better would be a toothbrush. A toothbrush with rubbing alcohol with some soft bristles, just to get some of that abrasion action going on to clean it. But I would say the slime does get a majority of it, like 80 to 85% of it. And then the rest of it, you would just use something else. So this is it with, this is mostly slime. I did rubbing alcohol on this side, but the majority of this was slime. And then I did some Q-tip rubbing alcohol down this bottom edge. But a majority of right here, from what you saw earlier, is due to the slime. Closely inspecting it, yeah, there's no residue left behind at all. And if you want, I guess, if you're worried about residue, you can go back with the cloth and, you know, with the rubbing alcohol and try to get it off. But I don't think that's necessary at all. But yeah, there you have it, cleaning slime. So I think this slime is still usable. You know, this cost me $14. I'm not going to say that this product is game-changing and amazing and you're not going to need anything else except for it, because that's not true. Definitely, you will always need like rubbing alcohol and a rag and Q-tips, no matter what. But I think this is a pretty good tool to have just for like the keyboard, and I would use this for the case over a rag. I'm sure I'll find more uses for this as time goes on. This was just my first impression and what I could think of off the top to use it on, what I showed today. But I mean, and it's so colorful too. Like this is the yellow one. Remember how bright that was earlier, and then now this is what it looks like. You can see in here, there's even a piece of hair in there. So it's kind of disgusting when you think about it, but it's crazy that like with how dirty it is, it's like my hands just feel clean. But yeah, I guess that's gonna wrap it up for this video. What is the conclusion? I think it does have its place. I wouldn't pay a ton for it. Like this worked out $14 divided by 4. That's like $3.50 a piece, and this is gonna have multi-use. So I think it's worth it just to have on hand. If you don't have it, then some of the tasks are a little bit more difficult to like clean and it's going to require more time, which if you're okay with that, then yeah, don't buy the slime. But I'll have this, the one that I bought anyways, linked down below. I don't know if all the companies make the slime the same way. I don't know if they all use the same materials, but this stuff did not leave residue, which I like. I don't know if they all claim that they do or not. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you've ever used this cleaning slime before on PC products and hardware. If you haven't, did you find this video interesting and will you consider it now? Because that was kind of the point of me making this video and sharing it. I thought when I saw it, it was super colorful and it looked interesting from like the product shots and stuff like that. So I wanted to use it and see for myself, because I've only seen videos of people using it in their cars or on keyboards and stuff, but not actually on other PC hardware, which is what I, for the most part, care about. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you guys, as always, for watching, for supporting the channel, and I will see you down in the comments as well as in the next video. Bye.